I think next time let's try to start on time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our 7th community call with Menlo. My name is Mimi, and as usual, I'm going to be your host today. So we have quite a lot of exciting updates today. But let me go through our usual house rules first. So whether this is your first time joining or seventh time joining, we usually in this course, we usually go through something that we've shipped for the past couple of weeks, something that maybe we are still figuring out, but we would like to share with you. And of course, we'll try to demo everything for you so that you are in the loop. Today's agenda will go through software, hardware, and then a new segment for us, which we're very excited to share with you. We'll cover updates on the Asimov 1 fulfillment, and I'll speak on this a bit later. And then, as usual, we'll wrap up with some of our housekeeping. Please use the comment section to share your questions, comments, anything else, and then let's get started. Tati?
Hi, sorry. Yep. Here. So today I'm going to show you the Menlo Robot SDK, and this is basically how so all based on the physical robot, that we've open source. We've also built essentially a virtual robot, right? And we have a kind of a tutorial that allows you to learn how to use the SDK through the virtual robot, right? And this also kind of allows you to kind of as you learn how to program Asimov, you can do this in simulation, so that you don't have to risk the physical robot that you've built, right? So this is a full tutorial. I'm actually going to run through this fairly quickly just to show you like the main features of the SDK, right? So all of this runs just out of a Google Colab notebook, so you can run this on any device that has a browser, right? So I set up the only thing kind of need to install is just this one Python package, and load your keys, and then there's a couple of administrative things like creating the robot, like the virtual robot, and then putting that robot into an environment, which is a session or a room, right? And then once you've done that, you basically can just get a URL from the SDK. And what this will do is open up the simulation. So this is a Mujoko simulation. So it's a physics-based simulation. This is the exact same simulation we use to train the locomotion policy on the robot. So you can see here, if you've seen videos of Asimov and us testing it, this is exactly how the robot behaves when you try to push it around. So this is the real Asimov. And what we want to do is basically expose the capabilities and shortcomings of a robot like this, right? So that you can kind of try to solve some of these problems in software, right? We want to recreate this problem virtually so it can solve. So for example, if I mean, I always try to make this fall down, but it cannot fall down. But let me just try this again. I'm gonna make Asimov fall down. Yeah, okay, so it's physics, right? So if I pull it really hard, this is the robot will fall down, right? So over here you can see some of the telemetry you'd get if you connected to our firmware and things like that. So joint torque, joint positions, these are things that you would be able to read off of the robot as this is happening. Like the most important one is just the IMU, so that you know that the robot has fallen. And you'll see that when the robot falls over, actually it dams itself, so it tries to reduce the impact it makes as it falls down, so that hopefully it doesn't break that much, right? The benefit of it being a simulation is your robot falls down, you just click on reset, and robot goes back to its original position, right? And then we can start, figuring out how not to make it fall down, right? So the other benefit is of course we don't want to do all of these things via mouse and keyboard, right? We want to do this programmatically, right? So the robot, like at the current level, exposes a fixed set of skills, right? Mainly around locomotion, right? So we can basically set the velocity of the robot, which is how the locomotion policy is commanded, right? And this allows us to basically tell the robot where to go, right? You can read the robot state, so there's a bunch of information you can get, like what the IMU is reading, right? The position of the robot is available only in simulation, because the robot won't know its universal position in reality, right? And then you can also read, because this is a simulation, where everything else is, right? But of course this is not going to be available on the robot. Okay, so I'm going to skip past all of this, right? Yeah, so let's just use like a very simple use case, right? So the first thing we want to do if we're controlling a robot is we want to know what the robot sees, right? So what we can do is just take a screenshot of what the robot sees. So this is from the exact camera position on Asimov, right? Where the camera is. So this is roughly, if I would try to make this first person, this is what the robot is seeing at the moment, right? And I can make the robot like move backwards for maybe 2 seconds. Yeah, okay, good, 2 seconds. So what this is going to do is move the robot backwards like that, right? So that's our locomotion policy. This is not the latest locomotion policy. It is what it is. So if I try to move this forward by 3 seconds, for example, I don't know why the thing does that. Okay, so then it goes back. Actually, what I want to show you is that it will collide into objects. Oh, wow. Okay, let me just do it again, right? So the robot will collide into objects and actually not move, right? So if you take the screenshot again, you'll see that the view is different, right? It sees something different because because the robot has changed its position, right? So that's like kind of mainly the feature of what this is, right? There is a way for you to, okay, this is a new feature from this week. You can set the head to move. So now the head of the robot is moving upwards, and now you can see it's looking at the sky. So you can control the two dots on the neck as well, to change the position of the camera, right? So then whatever you write inside this Colab notebook, it will run through the platform to the robot, and you wouldn't really have to change any code when you run this on your physical Asimov, right? So we've kind of tried to close the seam to real gap this way as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the quick sharing on this. There's a lot more features to come, and there are a lot of developments coming on this software side of things as well. Yeah.
Okay, if anybody has any questions or comments, drop in the chat, please. Otherwise, we'll move on to hardware.
Hey guys, I hope everyone's been doing well. So we've been working on a new revision of our RPU. I mean, we call it an RPU now because now it's a proper setup. So if you can look at my webcam over here, you can see that it's a relay with the previous motion control board at the bottom. So the idea is that this entire setup over here is completely removable from the robot itself. So this will enable you to do benchtop testing of the robot as well as individual limbs. I have a video over here of us actually doing this and controlling a single arm. So we have the exact same arm in simulation and the arm built in real life out of 3D printed parts with the RPU controlling it. As you can see, there's actually very minimal wiring. You just have one battery connector and then one XT32+2 connector connecting to the lid. The shakiness and stuff you see here is from the IK algorithm and not actually from the motors. The motors have been probing really well actually for manipulation. And we'll be excited to share probably in the next Community Friday our progress with it. Sadly, not sadly, the good thing is that if you remember previously, we had some issues with our CAN communication. We've managed to narrow it down, and that there was a fundamental bug with the RK3588 chip that is just not possible for us to fix because it's at the chip level. Rockchip has stopped supporting the driver for it in newer kernel versions as well. So to allow us to have the same amount of CAN communication, we fully moved to SpyCAN. So now instead of 3 SpyCAN modules, we're using 6 with 2 CAN transceivers per SPY interface. I've also refactored the schematic. Thank you for the comments from everyone previously saying the schematic was a bit messy. So now it should be much easier for people to read and understand. And this is how the motion control board looks like now. We're still waiting for this to arrive from fabrication. So once fab is here, I'll be releasing these files to the community as well. And these are all the SpyCAN transceivers at the bottom. On some exciting news, we have a new, not really member of the team, but we met up with a community member here in Singapore. So he's still in high school actually, but he's very talented. His name is Aiden, and he's helped us work on a head module for the robot. So this goes on in the head of the robot, and it will contain 2 microphones and a speaker amp and everything integrated nicely with some nice reverse voltage protection. So this will simplify the setup of the robot as well. So now you no longer need to have like a bunch of wires flaying around everywhere. So thank you, Aiden. This is a really good contribution. Oh, and last but not least, there was also another PR that we have not gotten to review yet. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Furfor, about modifying the handle. We'll get to this as soon as possible. I think this is a good suggestion as well, because we've noticed that it's a bit harder to grip with the current design.
Okay. I think we'll move on to our next segment, which is our new segment actually. So we have Frank, who has recently joined our team, and he's going to be leading our supply development and component sourcing for Asimov 1. And I know that, many people are probably going to have some questions about how the fulfillment is going. So Frank is going to be here to give updates on where we're at manufacturing and timelines and all of that. So please, Frank.
Yeah, sure. And hi, always so nice to meet you here. And I'm so excited to join Menlo and to support Asimov building and the server for all communities. So I will give a quick update about what we are about the Asimov building. And let me share my screen. Okay, in the past 2 weeks, actually visit our key suppliers and also visit some of the new supply. And we did find some really good prototype supply, and they can provide us Asimov for the better quality and lower price. I think in the future we can also introduce this supply to the commodity to let the whole commodity can build your own Asimov with affordable cost. And actually for the current cost, and we are approaching to our cost target, and that's our current building plan. For the moment, we already kick off the verification unit building, and if everything goes smoothly, I think we can finish this verification unit building in the end of July. Then we start our mass production, and for the mass production, and we have 3 options, and will depend on the different fitting check phase and the verification side of phase, and the team are still working on that, and we'll keep and we'll give update later. But basically our target is that we can ship out the first Asimov out in the August, and that's our plan. So let's actually our calendar Asimov fulfillment plan, and team are still working hard on it for the verification unit and also the more supply verification, and we can share more this building plan and develop plan in later. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we just really wanted to share that there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, and we'll try to give you updates as much as possible. Dan, did you want to add something?
Yeah, and I think for the community, I think we wanted to sort of share a little bit, I think, Menlo's path, I think verbally first, and a lot of the materials and others will come out in the weeks to come. So I think recently we had a bunch of really good community events. I'm not sure whether Mimi will share, I think, some of them later. I think Nicole and I were in Palo Alto where there was, 350 people came for, I think, the Menlo meetup, and also in San Francisco and a smaller one in Austin, Texas. We are growing as a physical AI company and really focusing on enabling the next 1 billion robots through a combination of open hardware as well as developer platforms. For the Asimov manufacturing that Frank is doing, very likely for Asimov 1, we are helping the community by helping to coordinate the manufacturing and others. In the future, we do see a future where Asimov is actually manufactured by many external ecosystem manufacturing partners, and Frank will be helping us as we embark on this path. So we're really, really excited. I think there will be some sharings and partnerships that we can talk about on the next call, and really excited to bring that forward.
I think we have Mando in the chat.
Yes, and Mando's here, so he knows what we're talking about.
Hi, Mando. So actually, just to piggyback off of what Dan has said, we are obviously working very hard behind the scenes, and we're expanding, as you guys can tell, which is where I've been asked to plug our new careers page in the absence of Herman today. So we have a lot of open positions open across different departments and actually locations. So we have some US openings, which please feel free to go have a look at, to apply or share with anybody you might know who might be a good fit. In the meantime, I think we can get to some of the Q&A. I think we have a question from Doug Ironside.
Yeah, so I can answer this question. So what you get from the Collab Twin is a 2D screenshot. Of course, there is a large sim to real gap between what we can render right now and what you would get from the camera. But because on Asimov we only have one camera, you would not be able to get depth from just a single camera. But what we can try is to use computer vision models to try to estimate the depth for now. Yeah, so based on the current hardware, that would be the solution that we would be able to do. Of course, if you were to modify the head to put an Intel RealSense in there, then that would be a different story. Yeah.
Any other questions for any of our team? Since Tati, Jashan, and Frank are here. Otherwise, I think we can do a quick one today. As usual, if you have any questions, please feel free to join our Discord community or ping us on our socials. Well, we're very active. Okay, that's all. I think today was a quick one. So thank you for joining as usual. We look forward to seeing you on our next call.